We are live.
Live
I think we're live.
in living color.
In living color, we can do what you. Okay, I'm gonna stop with that.
Yeah, that's dating us really bad.
We date ourselves every week, Jamie. I mean, come on, man. So
I mean, gotta be committed to the bit, right?
that's how we roll. So thank you guys for joining us here live on YouTube. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys joining in here. Joining myself, we do have an announcement coming up momentarily, but we are moving into going on as live people on the internet now, which is, I told Jamie this is interesting because for those of you that have been with us for a while know that the original name we had for this podcast was Total Spotfest Live. It was a play on Total Request Live from back in the 90s, because once again, we like to date ourselves apparently here. And we were never live, so it made no sense. And now we're live. So the world has come full circle, Jamie.
It has. I mean, I do like taking myself for long walks on the beach, and I do like cooking myself romantic dinners. So yeah, I do like to date myself.
Cook yourself a romantic dinner. How does that work? Do you have like do you use the candle and the whole nine? And
then I turn on the late 80s, early 90s wrestling entrance songs. Gets me right in the mood. It's just, it's nice.
All right, we're gonna sprint away from this right now. So we see some friends there, and if you are in chat, please join in. We have chat pulled up here. Maybe a slight delay, just FYI for those of you out there, but we will definitely try to pay attention to that.
Brain.
We are still working on it. So anyway, so we're gonna talk about Dynamite. Pretty stacked Dynamite from the night for sure.
Yes.
Before we do, we have an announcement, and Jamie wants to tell the world about it. So I'm gonna hand the microphone over to you, Mr. Jamie Faulkner.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have a huge announcement for us. We are officially going to be doing AEW reviews and recaps, everything for WrestlingNews.co. This is starting with this episode right here that you happen to be watching live. It will be recorded and dropped onto their YouTube channel at WrestlingNews.co. And then here shortly, we'll be starting to go live on their channel in the very near future. Big announcement for us. We love talking AEW. We love wrestling news, if you will. I actually use WrestlingNews.co's Facebook page a lot for like some of my
It's not a shoot,
my
guys. This
stuff.
is not.
Yeah,
This is a shoot. This is not a work, guys.
yeah.
Sorry.
I legit use their stuff, and then like found out they're looking for people, and they like us evidently. So they're one of the like 6 people in the world who enjoy us. But that's even including my wife and kids. So yeah, no, big news. We're starting to do that today. So pretty damn cool. I've been geeked about it basically since we've been talking to everybody over there. Already jealous of the main guy over there, Steve Fall. He got to interview Maki Ito, and he just recently did Miyu Yamashita. I'm
Jamie's
like, oh
super
goodness.
jelly of Steve over at WrestlingNews.co. Super jelly.
Yeah. So, Steve, if you happen to watch this one, if you can hook us up with at least one interview with,
well, we are going to be in Denver to see Maki Ito. Jamie and I have purchased tickets. We purchased hotel. We are going to Denver in April. So maybe we got in. Maybe we got another in. So, yeah.
And thanks everybody in the chats. Yes, thank you so much. We hope to kill it for everybody who's watching us live, who's been there since day one ish. You know what I mean? Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate everybody in the chat. So why don't we do J's in the chats? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. You know, A's in the chat.
Yeah, I know what you mean there. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was bad.
Let's. Well, all right. For those of you watching us for the first time here, this is us. We actually got a J in the chat. See, Kev got our back. All right. So, so that is the big news. So we will still, like I said, if you still come in, check out our YouTube. We're still going to be putting up, using our schedule, putting up stuff in our YouTube channel. Just if you want to catch us live over at WrestlingNews.co. That's youtube.com. I think it's /WrestlingNewsCo, if I remember correctly. I've got it's a lot of J's. Yes, Kev. I've got everything down in the link box in the description box down below. So link right to it. If you're not already following them, please go follow them. Legit, great company, and we're so happy to be partnering up with them. So
absolutely great opportunity. Hopefully it should be a hell of a lot of fun, and maybe we'll get enough where they'll send us to go to AEW shows. You know, I mean, we'll
see. We'll see about that. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anywho, let's. I know. So there's a couple bits of AEW news that we wanted to get to before we talk about Dynamite. So, Jamie, you have something that you wanted to kind of talk about to start off with, right?
Yeah. So there's a little bit of news around Thunder Rosa. Haven't heard that name in the AEW circle in a hot minute. She is starting to do the Spanish announce table for them. She's going to be doing Spanish commentary. She's also just back in the fold. But one of the big things that happened actually right before this Dynamite was she had a locker room meeting with the women's talent. And they just kind of aired some of the grievances and things like that to give her a clean slate when she gets back. Because obviously when she left under some tension. She did.
Some tension, just a little bit.
You know, like being accused of being stiff and, you know, obviously not wanting to drop the belt, breaking Jamie Hayter's nose. Like there's a few things there. But honestly, it sounds like it was very productive, and this should hopefully move things forward for a clean slate. And I'm hoping so, because Thunder Rosa is an excellent talent. You know, she seems like a genuinely funny person. You know, I get it. Business comes in there, and you get a little full of yourself sometimes, and it's okay to get knocked down a little bit and reset with everybody. So I think this is good. I think it's going to be great for them to get Thunder back in the fold when she's healthy.
I mean, Thunder Rosa. I mean, Thunder Rosa is. I hate even saying this word because it's become so blasé with AEW, but she is a pillar for the women's division there. I know. It
Yeah.
cringed me. I'm live. I can't think of acronyms, guys. Sorry. But she is a foundational piece. One of if not the defining women's match and one of the best matches in AEW, not just from the pandemic but in total, was that lights out match she had with Britt Baker. Her feud with Britt Baker is the cornerstone of the women's division. Currently is built on her cage. I mean, she's had a lot. Is there some blame to be passed around there? Yeah. She didn't handle the championship necessarily as gracefully as probably she should have, and there's some things, but I'm happy for her to be mending fences. That's wonderful. And especially now, Stable's a good spot. If she's not fully healthy yet, she's still around. She's still there. And it helps grow the brand. So kudos to her. Kudos to AEW for kind of making a path forward.
Absolutely. I cannot wait to see what happens with her because I mean she didn't go full on CM Punk, so that really helps.
So it's apparently 2 months until CM Punk's eligible to return, and from what I have read from around the interwebs is that the fence between CM Punk and the Elite has not even begun to be mended. Do you think we'll see CM Punk back in the AEW?
You know, from how excited I was at the very beginning to how it unceremoniously ended, no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was jazzed when he first came up. I'm like, oh, yeah, CM Punk. And then it's like, oh, yeah, CM Punk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, and, like, he is polarizing. And that's a good thing for him in some aspects. But, you know, this, I don't know, man. Like, if he comes back and they do it right, they will be printing money.
They puts butts into seats. I hate to admit it, but he puts butts into seats.
But especially with everything with the Elite, they bring it out, they air it out on TV and let it play out. Think about All Out.
Printing.
All Out. Kenny Omega versus CM Punk, though. You got that is legit printing money.
I agree with you 100%. I don't know if it'll happen, though. I think prides are getting too big here. We're still a couple months out. Who knows? You know?
We'll see.
We'll see. You guys give us a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are. Do you think CM Punk's going to come back? Do you want to see him come back? The good news is that you don't necessarily have to worry. The title picture's in great hands, and the roster's in great hands. Roster made an addition after Dynamite tonight, too. I don't know if you saw this or not, but we have a new person who is now officially, with a graphic, All Elite, per Tony Khan.
Who is this?
One Mr. Mark Briscoe.
Amen.
Officially, Mark Briscoe is All Elite. We're going to talk about his match on Dynamite coming up here, but from somebody who was banned by the network, finally is All Elite. I love this. I've been a huge Briscoe fan for years. So
you have. And they put on great matches. I mean, unfortunately, you know, Jay's no longer here, but Mark, he can carry on the mantle, and yeah. So I think that's a little late. Thanks, Discovery.
Warner Brothers.
But yeah, but you know, hey, I'm in.
He's in. So that's and you know, it's kind of. It's interesting that it was officially announced by Tony Khan, because earlier in the day today, Tony Khan had another announcement he made. So it has been long rumored about this, but officially, ROH tapings, which have been kind of going alongside Dark, you know, you've made mention, you've seen people tweeting out photos, and you know, you kind of go down the back alleys of Twitter there to kind of see some of the spoilery stuff, you know, but. There's been like Ring of Honor aprons and stuff, but they're doing official Ring of Honor tapings on the 25th and 26th of February. And just earlier today, Tony Khan also let it be known that officially ROH TV, I don't know if that's the name of what they're going to call the program. God, I hope not. Will be airing on beginning March 2nd. Where is that, you
Man.
might ask? Well, that's through the Honor Club subscription service. So it's another $5 you got to pay a month for.
Because
Which,
why not? Just $5 a month, guys. That's it.
I mean,
It's a Coke a day.
I'm still paying for a Peacock subscription that I barely use. I mean, even although I do use it, I start because I watched like the WWE pay-per-views. Been watching some of those, the big ones especially. Been watching some of those every now and then, and I am a big fan of Psych. So I have been going back and watching Psych in HD. It's been nice. So that's completely off the subject. No, ROH. Honor Club is their subscription service. That's what they're doing it through. I truly believe this is the catalogs in Honor Club. It's going to be on HBO Max one day. There's going to be, just like how Peacock has a WWE section, there's going to be a wrestling section on. It's got to be, right? It's got to be.
I would be very ecstatic if that happened.
So, well, that's our news. How about we do this? You want to get into talking about Dynamite? Because there was a lot that went down.
There was a metric butt ton. So, if anybody has not been keeping score at home, yes, tonight's Dynamite was your Setup Revolution show.
Yay!
So, it starts off with a fun match, not a banger. So, AEW definitely didn't do their usual banger, middle banger. They definitely did, hey, let's start off with some good fun and then end with a banger. And I'm still calling that one a banger. I really enjoyed that one. But we're starting off with the Acclaimed and Orange Cassidy and Daddy Ass, or Billy Gunn, for those who don't know.
He was a build as Daddy Ass coming into the ring.
Yes, build as Daddy Ass.
So
going against Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, the Big Man, Satnam Singh, and Jeff Jarrett.
Much love to the Jarrett family, by the way.
Yes. I don't know why.
Because Jerry Jarrett passed away.
Oh, that was his dad, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
This is Dad.
Hi.
Legendary national promoter, co-founder of TNA.
I saw that. Yeah. Okay. Never
Come
mind.
on, Jamie.
Totally new, guys. Just psyching you out.
This is Jamie's first night watching wrestling here.
Yeah. What's a lion tamer? I did get to see my second favorite.
All of our friends just signed off of YouTube. I hope you're happy.
I bet they did, and I don't blame them. But I did get to see my second favorite submission, so I will talk about that later.
Yourself. Yeah. So
yes, I am.
A fun match.
So fun match between the Acclaimed and Jeff Jarrett and them. Satnam Singh, man, when he gets better, like when he gets more time in the ring,
yeah,
that dude is gonna be good because he's the fastest moving big man I've ever seen. Well, like you see the athleticism.
He was an NBA draft pick. NBA pick. He's NBA signee. I'm sorry. I follow the NBA very closely, obviously. No, but he was signed by the Dallas Mavericks for a reason. So
yeah,
he's got to.
Homebro's athletic.
He reminds me, if he gets good, I think there's shades of like the original WCW Giant, right? Paul White's. I think he could do that. Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right there. I think he could even be a more athletic version, even though back then the Giant was doing moonsaults and things like that, and Then he decided, hey, where's that catering truck? Hey, I know his plight.
I still like the smoking Giant. My favorite gimmick that he ever had. All he cared about was smoking cigarettes.
Sit in the corner, oh man, that's just. But the funnest part of this whole match was definitely the scissor me timber spot. Oh. Like everybody was gonna do it, even
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy was gonna get in there and do the scissor me, but they ended up getting the scissor me timber on Sanjay for the win. It was really fun. Fun match. Obviously the Ass Boys were watching because they're setting that up. But I believe right after this, they set up that championship match, or was it a little bit later on?
It was a little bit later, but thematically we'll stick with it here. So later on, they did actual So the Ass Boys came out and they were on the stage, but later on they had an actual promo, right? And then it was announced shortly thereafter by Renee that it's been made official for Revolution. It's going to be a triple threat tag team match. It's going to be the Ass Boys going up against the winner of 2 battle royals. Next week on Dynamite, you've got the traditional Revolution tag team battle royal. What is with these names? Stop with the insanely long names. I'm sorry. Like AEW, I love you to death, but your naming convention is driving me up a damn wall. All right. And then
It's true.
It's very true. In 2 weeks, there's going to be a casino battle, tag team battle royal. The winners of those are going to be going in, and she's interrupted by the Acclaimed, who invoked their rematch clause. So officially booked for Revolution is a 4-way tag team match between the Guns, the Acclaimed, and the winner of the battle royal the next 2 weeks.
That'd be a 3-way, not a 4-way.
There's 2 battle royals. There's a battle royal next week, and then there's another battle royal the week after.
And they don't have those two going each other to get the right?
If you win one of those battle royals, you're in the match. There's 4 teams. So the winner of one battle royal is in there. The winner of another battle royal.
Why wouldn't you just have those two go against each other to get the right?
You've got it's the 15th right now. You've got like 2.5 weeks until Revolution, man.
So are you saying they set it up a little late? Are you saying they set it up a little late for that?
It's kind of how they roll with it. But no, it's a
who do you got? Who do you got in the next one? Butcher and the Blade?
Butcher and the Blade, I think for sure. And
Top Flight?
You just finish every sentence I have, Jamie. Go for it.
No problem.
Yeah, Top Flight, Butcher and Blade. That's who I got.
I mean, yeah, Top Flight for sure. The other one, I have no clue.
I mean, I don't think they'll put Kings of the Black Circle in there or whatever.
No, Kings of the Black Throne. They won't put them in there. Maybe the Lucha Bros.
I mean, maybe, I guess,
Yeah, I mean,
you could put Dark Order if you really wanted to, or the Best Friends, that Best Friends kind of is adjacent. That would make more sense, and I don't know.
So the problem is they got to be very careful who they put in there, because they don't want necessarily to outshine the champions and outshine their main challengers, which are the previous champions. You put the Lucha Bros in there, they're going to outshine everybody.
Right. Whereas Top Flight, you're trying to build up. This is a great match to put them in there as a litmus test to see if they can be the top guys, right?
Yeah, a legitimacy test.
Butch and the Blade are solid workers. They could put people over. They still get good reaction. They're the good fill-in. So those 2 teams make the most sense.
Yeah, or Best Friends, something like that. Now that I think about it, Lucha Bros doesn't make sense. I mean, for me it does, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't.
I mean, Kings of the Black Throne, Lucha Brothers, Young Bucks, let's go, right? But
I want the Kings to get a belt like yesterday, but beside the point.
Okay, well, let's stay away from that tangent. So they did a lot more setup for Revolution throughout the night. They had a lot of intermixed bits with. Let's talk about MJF and Bryan Danielson, okay? Because
excellent.
That was the next thing they did on the show. We're not going to go completely in chronological order, guys, just if you haven't caught already. But so they had a video from Bryan Danielson, and later on, MJF had an actual promo out in the ring. Okay, He comes out. By the way, have you seen his new sweatshirt that he's selling?
I'm a poor. I'm seriously thinking about buying that because I am a poor.
It's so good. He comes out, shoots on the crowd, does his typical thing. Cool, right? All right, you guys hate me. Shooting on Bryan Danielson. Nothing new we haven't seen here. Okay. Pulls his catchphrase and then doesn't leave the ring and says, "Don't take my word for it. I have somebody here whose word are you going to take?" And he calls out the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. Where was your mind at when Daniels coming out? Because that was a curve that I didn't see coming.
I was like, oh, are we getting some old, straight getting heat Christopher Fallen Angel
like
Daniels?
The demon priest Christopher Daniels.
Who could just spit fire?
Yeah.
Is that what we're getting? Is that what we're getting?
Oh.
Not really, but it was still good.
Well, Christopher Daniels is good, no matter what.
Yeah. And plus, like with his red eye, I just love his red eye. It's supposed to heal up at some point. I'm kind of hoping it never does because it looks so badass. It looks so badass.
Is metal AF.
Yes.
So he defends Bryan Danielson instead of doing what MJF paid him to do, and of course, then they get a little ruckus then, and then out comes Danielson to save him. Okay, cool, right? So,
Ruckus. Can you describe the ruckus?
well, it started with a slap.
You,
Is there an inside joke I'm missing here? I don't know what you're getting at.
Breakfast Club.
I hate The Breakfast Club, Jamie. It's not a good movie. I can't quote anything from that movie. I will die on that hill. You guys in chat can fight me if you want. Breakfast Club, not a good movie. Sorry.
Breakfast Club is amazing.
No, it's not. It's not. It's nowhere near. John Hughes did some amazing movies. Breakfast Club, not one of them.
Oh, really? Well, okay, what's his number one then? We're time out, chat. Time out.
Hold on. We have some important stuff to get to. First of all, Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Mm-hmm.
Not Uncle Buck.
I do like Uncle Buck a lot. Weird Science, I would say, is my favorite of his. I did like Heather's trying to save us, get us back on direction here.
Thanks, Heather.
Yeah. But no, Uncle Buck was great. Weird Science. 16 Candles is better. Honestly, it's like I like most everything he did except for Breakfast Club. Hated Breakfast Club. Sorry.
So in my order, we'll just do top three. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, number one by far, without a shadow of a doubt. It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, fight me, okay? Then Uncle Buck, and then Breakfast Club. Then Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is arguably one of the best movies of all time. Yes.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is up there for sure.
Then 16 Candles, then Weird Science. And then we're not even going to talk about Curly Sue, okay?
I love Weird Science.
I love World, but if you're looking at it with these guys, this. Okay, anyway, MJF.
Exhale. MJF. Okay.
Jesus. Didn't even get my Breakfast Club reference.
I don't get, no. MJF and BD with CD. So.
BD with CD.
I mean, here's the thing. A lot of what they did, tonight was set up for Revolution. A lot of promos, a lot of slow buildy sort of stuff. So yeah. I don't think there was like a ton of stuff that was meant to be like the hit him out of the park home run sort of moments, right? It didn't need to be though, right?
No, not at all. And I agree. And to keep the train a moving, if you will, can we talk about the bloody mess, but the beautifulness that was the Jon Moxley Claudio versus Roosh and Preston Vance?
When is Moxley not bled in a match last? Because I can't remember a match in recent memory that he has not bled in.
I know he's going all Terry Funk, and I'm here for it.
I mean,
I'm legit here for it. He was excellent in that match. And I have to give props to Preston Vance.
Please, I was going to do it if you didn't, because that man he's come up, man. He's looking good.
From early 10 to where he is now, shake him in his razor blade will fall out. Amen. Amen. Damn it, that was perfect.
For those of you who are just listening to us, our friend Heather in chat said that if you shake Jon Moxley, his razor blades will fall out.
Yeah. A year ago, they're for something different. But anyway, so Preston Vance, like, he looked phenomenal. Granted, he had Jon Moxley and Claudio as opponents, but in recent weeks that he has been on in Dark Elevation and Dark, he has came a long way. And I really liked how they subtly, but not so subtly, set up Roosh versus Claudio for that ROH title coming up at the Supercard. Very obvious that was getting set up in that match, at least to me.
I mean, that's what you want to have. That to me is the thing. I mean, you've got Claudio is the face of ROH. He's on all the posters, on all promotional materials. Literally, go to Twitter and look at. He's everywhere, right? Which is what we said you needed, right? But Roosh is that former champion. He holds that ROH flag, and so it's a perfect setup. It's a perfect storyline to fold into the ROH TV. Whatever that title is going to be. We're just going to call it ROH TV until we get a damn title. I think everything about this match, like
ROH Cherry Bomb, so it's not quite Dynamite.
Only
maybe.
Only if they play Cherry Bomb as their thing song. Cherry Bomb.
The Runaways, absolutely.
Yes, play the Runaways.
I am in.
I'll play the Runaways after. Okay. I love when we said after this match got announced, we're like, yes, please. And it started off hot and heavy in the audience. It bled all over the place. John bled all over the place.
Yeah, the only two people who didn't bleed were Roosh and Claudio.
Yeah.
Interesting. After that, you had a quick little thing where Kip Sabian, the Butcher and the Blade, were beating up Hangman to set up the Kip Sabian match, which you'll run through. The Wardlow segment. What did you think of War Daddy's segment?
I thought it was good. Okay, I thought it was like our knock on Wardlow is he's a beautiful man who has the ability, pigeonholed by booking, and can't talk. Right. He's gotten better, but I thought this was his best kind of promo work. Now, it was a taped interview with JR, so it's a little different, right, than a live mic situation. But it was a personal story. He relayed into a feud in a way that I didn't see coming, and I really enjoyed. He grew his hair out after his dad passed from cancer, and and Joe knew this and taking that, and I was like, oh, that's a good angle. If it's true, I don't want to knock
it. Made it personal, yeah.
I mean, he made it personal, and I'm like, that's fabulous. That's good work. That's good stuff. The man interviewing him probably had a hand in that fucking interview. Let's be real.
Maybe. No, I think this is going to sound weird, but go with me on this. Wardlow's Shrek moment. Because one thing that Shrek said, because everybody thinks ogres just do this one thing, right? But ogres are like onions, and onions have layers. This is his moment to show that he's got layers. Yes. Yet another movie reference. You're welcome. But no, seriously.
Yeah.
But he's just been the ogre, like for real.
Right,
like
the Powerbomb Symphony, and yeah. Same.
Like Hulk Smash, or ooh, if you're in a different company. Yeah. And now he's showing a little bit more layer, texture to him, and like I want them to play this out. I want them to have more with Wardlow. I still think he needs a manager. I still think his mic skills suck. But this is a very good first start towards that. Like, I really think you should pair him and JP, Jack Perry, together, because his mic skills suck as well. But no, seriously, I think you put those two together, give them a solid, strong manager. Like, hell, have JR be their manager. I don't care. Like, have somebody who's got something there that can talk to help them, because they got the ability. They just need more.
I don't. And my thing is, like, Wardlow is definitely being billed as, one of the next big things, right? And he is, talent-wise, he is. We know that. I think that pairing him up in another faction is going backwards for him. Giving him a manager, I can understand. Okay, cool, right? But I don't think they'll do that either. I think he's getting better. I think a lot of it has to do with how they book him moving forward. They booked him in a corner when he was TNT champion the first time, right? We said that ad nauseum. They booked him into a corner, okay? Now they don't have to. This thing with Joe, they can let this string out for a little bit beyond Revolution if they want. right?
They probably
And
won't, but they should.
if they don't, what you said, if they don't, I'm gonna be your one string banjo because you know where I can go with this. Miro.
Yes, give me
Wardlow's best
violence.
matches are paired up against big guys who don't move like big guys, and Miro's sitting on the shelf. Well, technically he's in Bulgaria right now. But he's on the shelf, healthy though,
Yeah,
and this is a path for him into a storyline that makes sense because the whole Redeemer plot line was centered around the TNT title of sorts, right?
yeah. Which everybody knows Wardlow's gonna win it. Like I'm calling it now. My Mark Stradamus stamp of approval. Wardlow's winning this thing at Revolution. It's happening. I don't care what anybody says. It's happening.
It's not a limb that far out there, to be honest, but yes.
No, it's not. But yeah, so there's that. All right, so now we are officially starting the second hour. And JJ, would you like to go
We
through
have,
some of
we
your
have
stuff?
who I said newly signed, official All Elite Mark Briscoe going up against Josh Woods, and this is a match. If you were a fan of ROH for a long time, you've seen this match in several different variants, but it was fun to see. It was a good match. It was a solid match right in the middle of the card, sort of thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's good. Got Mark good airtime. Mark won. I don't really have a lot of criticism for the match, but it's also not really. It wasn't like I said. It wasn't like the best match that even the two of them have had together, but it's very good to kind of put in there in the middle. I think that in a way, it's dicing in a little stuff that we know is going to end up in ROH TV is good for the time being, so that there's some familiarity, so you can get more eyes into it. But it'll free up spots for, I don't know, maybe 2 women's matches on Dynamite. Just saying, Tony. I'm just saying.
Bingo. Mark's froggy bow drop is a thing of beauty.
I love so much about Mark Briscoe. Redneck Kung Fu. I mean, I love him. I love him.
Yeah. But I want that froggy bow more in my life. That's all.
Froggy bow was nice. And it's good to see him not rely back on using his brother's finisher for everything too.
Yeah, he uses his. Because they did separate for a hot minute in ROH.
Mm-hmm. They fought each other too. Empty arena. That match. If you haven't seen that match, go look up that match.
Yes, it was great.
You had Renee Paquette interviewing Adam Cole thereafter. Adam Cole is more kind of the same, talking about the road to recovery and getting the small achievements. Obviously, although he's here and he's traveling, he's not medically ready to wrestle. But I like the way he kind of like signified some of the post concussion stuff as his small achievements, right? Being able to do this without having to vomit, or being able to not have my right eye be twitchy, or looking at, so it brought a little levity to it. Adam Cole's a great promo giver in general, but it's good to kind of you want him back yesterday. I know.
Yeah, and the reports are he's healthy. They're literally just waiting until after the Revolution run to get him back in the fold. Like literally the Wednesday after, he's gonna be on something. And my guess is Orange Cassidy.
It's not a bad way to start there. I mean, he teased that he knows where he's going first, so they're drawing this out perfectly, I think. The MJF promo we talked about happened thereafter, and then you had the Guns promo. Like we said, they announced then, that it's going to be a triple threat, a 4-way match at Revolution. Then you had Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Brian Cage, which I want your full thoughts on, because we've seen this match a few months ago, and I always say it's great to get Brian Cage on my TV. Okay,
it is.
And Jungle Boy, no matter what you think about him on a microphone, because he's terrible, he is fantastic in the ring.
He is.
So even though we've seen this match just a few months ago, what did you think about seeing it again on your TV?
I hated it with every fiber of my fucking soul.
I don't know why. It's something about this match. It just didn't. Nothing flowed.
Yeah. Like, it just felt like they didn't work on it. They literally just went in the back and go, hey, all right, you want to do this? Yeah, you want to do this? Sure. Like, right before the match. And it just felt very discombobulated. And again, I hate the unrealistic little dude beating the big dude, especially when, like, that's JBJP's setup. I know you hate that. I'm going to continue saying it. But, I want to like it. I do. I want to because it is two people I do and typically enjoy watching fight. It's just the only reason they did this is for the aftermath. That was it. It's like it didn't need to happen. You could have had, oh, I don't know, a second match, Tony, for the women.
I mean, there's plenty of them sitting around. Just saying.
That's fair.
The match in December was fantastic. I loved every second of it.
Same.
And this one here, I just was like, yeah, it just felt like it was just kind of just thrown out there, and I didn't think it did any disservice. He's rocking back. Jungle Boy wins. Okay, he won the one in December too, but Jungle Boy wins. Whatever. He's walking up the ramp, and here comes Christian Cage's music, which, that's a surprise, right?
Yeah.
Here's Christian Cage still with a sling. And you're like, okay. So Jungle Boy runs up to him and he gets maced by Christian Cage, who then does the classic old heel thing, rips off the sling, rips off the brace, hits him, turns him around, does a unprettier. I will continue to call it an unprettier. I'm sorry, Christian. Killswitch is actually a great finishing name, but that's an unprettier.
As 100% unprettier. But when I saw him come out, it made me think of what are some other classic I'm hurt but not really hurt wrestling moments.
Kevin Nash in the cast in the wheelchair. That's number one every time, buddy.
Oh man, yeah, that
every
one
time.
by far is number one. Like, the first thing I thought of, I'm like, oh, he's pulling Nash. Like, next thing you know, is you're gonna figure Poke of Doom.
I mean, we've had variants of this a lot. I think in the end of the Attitude Era, and especially in the Ruthless Aggression era, I mean they use this quite a bit when people are coming back. It's not a new gimmick. It's been around since the 70s, right? Like, oh, my neck, no, I'm fine, and then they do them, So it's not a new gimmick, but it's kind of nice, getting an old gimmick pulled out. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of nice having Christian back in the cage with Jungle Boy, whether it be in a feud or whatever, because Christian can talk.
Yes, enough for both of them. So after that, we had Hanger versus Kip.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You had the Elite promo, by the way. So Elite versus Top Flight and AR Fox again on Friday.
It's on Friday. It's fine. But dude, that lineup is ridiculous for Friday.
Yeah, I have the lineup actually. Well, we'll talk about here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Hanger Kip.
Okay, go.
Hanger Kip was shorter than I thought, but it was good.
Very short. Yeah,
that was good. Kip's been doing a lot of good work lately. It's good to see him. I kind of like the whole weird goth thing he's got going on, right? It's it's an interesting little bit, and
it's Beetlejuice vibes. Yeah,
and the cowboy hat was a nice touch tonight and making fun of Hanger. But Hanger made relatively short work of him, but it was a fine match. And then afterwards is once again lots of setup in this episode, guys. Like we said, afterwards out comes the Blackpool Combat Club. Okay.
Yep.
Moxley's just like, all right. And I took a lot of notes about this because this was my promo of the night by far.
Yeah, this was honestly my moment of the night with everything.
I loved so much about this. So Mox says that I've heard you talking and all this stuff, and it's that we do not have unfinished business. I beat you again. It's over. Hanger's like, you can't tell me that, the old ball and chain roll up, that's where it goes. And Mox just like, yep. and so Hanger starts to go down the path talking about like what I assumed is like a Falls Count Anywhere sort of thing, you know.
Last man standing is where I thought he was going with
Last
it.
man standing works too, you know, some sort of knockdown drag out bit, right?
Yeah.
And Moxley then says, you know, it doesn't matter because you don't, you know, whatever this, you don't even have any friends to come out here and tell you to stop. You don't have any friends at all. Which brings out the Dark Order with Evil Uno in full purple suit regalia.
Yeah, Joker suit. He Joker suited it up. Yeah.
It looked so
It was
good.
beautiful.
And it was good seeing Uno as we haven't seen him in months. Because he was on the mic and he was very forceful. They were a little dismissive of Hangman because, like we've talked about in the past, you know, that we feel like Hangman is definitely not reciprocated back to them at all. They don't owe him this loyalty that they are giving him. So they weren't completely shunning him, but they also didn't come out and be like, we support him. He can do whatever he wants, John. Yeah. You know, that would have been the worst thing. But they didn't do that. Evil Uno steps out in front of Hangman and shoots on the Blackpool Combat Club and in John Moxley's face. Says, I'm not afraid of John Moxley. And they go forehead to forehead. And I love every second of it.
I think this is what you and I have been clamoring for when it comes to making the Dark Order relevant again. And I think this is a great way to do it. Who better to give the Dark Order a good solid rub to get them back to the forefront than John freaking Moxley?
He is the company. He is Hogan, he is Austin, he's
the ace.
He's the man.
I mean, I like it. And I like the fact that we have Moxley Uno next week. I really enjoy that.
I'm so happy for that. And then, of course, it ends with Moxley like looking past Uno purposefully and saying, and basically throwing out there a Texas death match for Hangman at Revolution, which they made official later on.
I'm in. I like seeing these two men beat the shit out of each other.
I mean, the first match is what it is, but ever since that, they haven't had, ended abruptly due to medical things. But everything they've done has been fantastic. This is a good way to end it. Hopefully, the Dark Order gets some legs from this moving forward. Please, God. Jericho promo, yeah, that happened.
The best part of that promo was everybody on the entire JAS spoke except for Sammy
Guevara.
That made me so happy. Once thought of as a pillar, he's in the background just smiling like, hey guys, don't forget about me. Can't stand Sammy.
So Ricky Starks and Daniel Garcia again on Friday. And speaking of which, Friday is set up to be Ricky Starks versus Daniel Garcia. We're finally getting, I thought this was supposed to happen already, but apparently it's next week. Dustin Rhodes versus Swerve Strickland.
Yep.
Because reasons. The Elite versus AR Fox and Top Flight, which was phenomenal last week, but we're getting it again. So okay,
because why not?
Well, it's a 6 p.m. start time for Rampage, because it's TBS or no TNT, excuse me, has All-Star Weekend for the NBA going on. So they got like Celebrity Game and all that other stuff going on, whatever. So, and then they have a women's match. Jade Cargill defending her title against Vert Vixen.
How about Vert Vixen getting a little bit of love, man? Like I saw Vert Vixen. I love me some Vert Vixen. She should have been signed years ago.
She should have.
That's a personal opinion.
Well, maybe she could get more.
It's an accurate opinion.
Get more FaceTime. We'll probably see her on Dark a little bit coming up here. Dark and Dark Elevation for the next couple of weeks at least. Hopefully, we get more of that. Vert Vixen is great. So they announced that for Rampage. They also announced that they have thus far for Revolution. Iron Man match, 60-minute Iron Man match, MJF, Bryan Danielson. Guns versus the Acclaimed versus two other tag teams in a 4-way tag team title match. John Moxley, Adam Page in a Texas death match. And they officially booked Wardlow, Samoa Joe for the TNT title. Okay, no big surprises here for that.
Nope.
I was a little surprised with the Stokely Hathaway promo. Stokely Hathaway comes on. He's all mad because Hook broke his arm, quote unquote, last week. And breaking news: Tony Schiavone has what would they say? Pending investigation. Hook is suspended. Hook is suspended pending investigation moving forward. So, whatever. It's kind of funny. All right, we did all this to get to the main event.
Main event time. It was a good main event too.
You loved this. I loved it very much. Obviously, it was a triple threat women's match between Toni Storm, Ruby Soho, Ruby, and Britt Baker. So why don't you start us off on this?
Okay, so this match started off really well. The storytelling in this match was spot on. I think if I could say anything about this match, it was clean, but the storytelling, like the fact that right off the bat, it was Ruby just standing off while Tony and Britt Baker DMD were going right at it. Like she just stood there like, okay, and then finally got involved, and like the conflict of Ruby throughout the entire thing, and then finding a way, it was very, very, very well done. I did like the fact that Britt Baker was wearing red and white after she was at the Super Bowl seeing my Kansas City Chiefs take down yet another championship. 2 in the past 3 years. Life's pretty good, but she did wear that, and I did notice that Ruby was wearing black and green, the colors of the Philadelphia Eagles. For those keeping track of.
And none of that has any bearing. Britt's been wearing red and white as colors for months now. Basically, when she's not wearing anything Pittsburgh related, that's what she defaults to, is red and white. She is a diehard Steeler fan. She could care less about the Chiefs. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no! She posted her love for Mahomes, like everybody should.
I know. And if Mahomes ever plays in Pittsburgh, she will not care about him at all. And Ruby, first of all, she lives in Ohio and cares zero about football. I know that for a fact. She wear green because that's been her color for, I don't know, a decade. Maybe. Just
maybe.
Saying. Okay. So congratulations to your Chiefs anyway. It was a good game. I'm happy for that. I liked how the first part of this match was all storytelling, and the second part of this match was all just weird, ridiculous, great kind of three-way moves, right?
Absolutely.
It was like the whole put someone's head in someone else's, in their arm, and then do a back neck breaker, so they DDT just a lot of that. So the action was backloaded for sure.
My favorite, though, the entire thing was when I got to see my second most favorite submission in the entire world, a Texas Cloverleaf.
It was almost Canadian Cloverleaf, dude. The way that she started with that.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna sit back and do the lion tamer style. But yeah, so she did the Texas Cloverleaf, and then here comes Britt trying to get in there and do her lockjaw on Ruby. It was effing beautiful.
Ruby was a pretzel for a good second there.
Oh, it was gorgeous. But then.
But that led to the mayhem moment of the match. The only part I really didn't like about the match.
Yeah, Saraya gets involved, but not
it's a triple threat. There's no
DQ'd?
there's a triple threat. There's no disqualification.
That's ridiculous.
That's always been it's a triple threat rule. It's been
that
way
I
since
know. I know, but
come on, chat, back me up here, guys. It's always been that way, right? Yes.
No.
It was a little weird because they didn't. It wasn't okay. So it did get a little clunky, and they didn't communicate it very well. Is my problem with that part, right? Saraya comes in, breaks it up, and everything, and then they get Ruby out of the ring, and then do a move, beat up, put Britt in the corner, and then she comes over with her spray paint, which is green, by the way. Comes over to the spray paints a bunch on Toni Storm's ass, puts an L loosely on her butt. Now, Tony's wearing like patent leather, so spray paint's not sticking to it. But anyway, I
That's the
digress.
point, though. Yeah. They were
The
trying to get
point
it on her face.
is, and then she did the hip attack, but which Ruby then came in, cleared out house, and back and forth, and then Ruby kind of, Tony did a thing, was going for the pin. She came and threw Tony out of the ring onto Saraya and got the pinfall on Britt to get the victory. So
Yeah.
it was a little like the ending, I think, was fine. I dug it all. It's just the way it was done with like kind of the interference there. And the way, I think more is the way it was sold by the commentators.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a piece.
It was a little herky jerky for a second there.
They were choppy too, because the ending was a little choppy. And then at the very end, when Ruby's standing in the middle, and here comes Jamie, and then here comes Saraya, and Saraya's like, "You're with us, you're with us." And she's like, "Oh, I'm with you." Like, you can see her say that. Like, clearly she's not going to be with them. I am 100% saying there's no way on God's green earth is she joining the E-Girls. She is not joining the E-Girls ever, ever, ever. She is 100% going to be on the other side. She is going to be on the original side. And I'm calling it now. Hikaru Shida will be with the E-Girls.
Okay. And that is...
Stamp it.
If you haven't heard before, that's been Jamie's long-standing prediction, okay? I had a slightly different take on that.
Ooh.
So she's in the middle between Jamie Hayter and Saraya, the two people who weren't in the match, coincidentally, right? And of course starts with Saraya trying to yell at, because like she's known Ruby for the longest time, right? And anyway, and then Jamie comes in, and there's all this, and it's back and forth. She's telling them both to shut up and stop and all this stuff. But the show ends with them walking away. Ruby just kind of sits there and kind of, looks at both sides, looks at the other side, looks ahead towards the crowd, and does the whole belt thing and just kind of like, right? I think this is an angle for her to get the belt as going into the E-Girls. She'll later turn on them and leave them, or they'll turn on her, one or the other. But I think Ruby's going to be the next in line for Jamie Hayter.
Oh, and you think that she's going to join the E-Girls?
I think that, I don't know if she'll join, but I think there might be some shenanigans involved, which might lead to Ruby finally getting a title. Maybe at Revolution. We'll see.
Okay.
But
okay,
a female main event for the first time in months. Correct me if I'm wrong there. A couple months? Something like that?
Jamie and...
Jamie. Yep. So that was what, 6 weeks ago? 8 weeks ago?
6-8 weeks ago. Thereabouts. It was about a month and a half.
Okay, so, but there, female main event. Ruby's been the center of this storyline, basically, because she won't choose a side. Won the match tonight. Ends, they go off the air with the camera on Ruby. Hey, Ruby. And I don't know. Like, I saw her do the whole belt thing, and that's what, oh, wait a minute. She's taking a shot at the title.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Maybe they won't put it on her, and that drives her into the E-Girls. Maybe they won't put it on her, and the E-Girls try to interfere, and that's her motive for siding against them. Maybe they'll help her out, and she does side with them. I think there's possibilities you could go with this, but the more I talk myself into it, the more I believe that Ruby versus Jamie kind of feels like the path for, because I mean, who are you gonna have Jamie go up against at Revolution? Tony Storm? How many times have we done that recently, right? Saraya? Nobody wants to see that. I'm sorry.
I do. Because
Saraya's good as a ringleader.
No, I agree. I
don't want to see her in ring.
We've talked about that ad nauseum. Yeah.
I think. And I know I'm a little biased. For those of you who don't know me, maybe it's your first time checking it out. Ruby is my favorite by far. I say hi to her every episode. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, but I feel like it's a good path to have. Whether they put the belt on her or not, who knows? But that to me was just what I took away from it.
That's fair. Okay. I believe you. We'll see how it plays out. I think that's a good take. I like your take.
I think the good thing is that there's now multiple possibilities about how this can go. We don't know about Hikaru Shida, right? Your take could still be. I mean, there's actually some stuff being built into this, and like you said at the beginning, Thunder Rosa's kind of involved in behind some stuff now too, many some Finches. So
Yeah, I'm in.
let's see what they do with the women. So overall, what was your thoughts of Dynamite?
Great show. I really enjoyed it, top to bottom. There was that one match I didn't need to see because I just need to see the aftermath, and I really enjoyed the aftermath.
Right.
It's just one of those things, like, because we have seen that match, and sometimes it's okay to see the same match like multiple times, as we know, 50-50 booking. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I really, really enjoyed it. Plus, I got to see a Cloverleaf.
I thought it was great. Yeah, almost a Clover Destroyer. No, Canadian Leaf.
Oh, this is a Canadian. Like it's almost a Clover Tamer.
Clover Tamer. That's what we're gonna go with. Okay.
Clover Tamer.
All right. So I thought it was great. I thought it was a good episode. I thought I much more prefer the the Spotfest, the flippy spinny stuff, but I appreciate them doing so much setup, but still giving some good stuff in the night. Blackpool Combat, women's main event with Ruby winning. Yes, please give me that. Good stuff. So next week we got Evil Uno versus Moxley, and then they also announced for next week. It was the first of the battle royals, the Revolution, traditional Revolution. No, not tradition.
Whatever, the tag team
annual Revolution tag team battle whatever.
Yeah.
We got a battle royal
Rumble.
for tag team stuff. So more stuff be announced on Friday. So that's what we got. So that was us doing Dynamite Live, guys. Please continue to comment down below. Give us a shout on Twitter at Total Spotfest. We will try to respond to as many comments as we can. You can definitely join us every Wednesday, like we said, moving forward on WrestlingNews.co's YouTube channel. We got some technical stuff set up, so hopefully we'll be doing that beginning next week. If not, the replay, of course, will be there. But you can definitely check the replays on our channel as well. That's at Total Spotfest on YouTube. We enjoyed this. You let us know what you guys thought, though. Give us your comments. Anything at all. Critiques as well. I struggle with audio engineering, so I think I've got it good. But let me know. Give us a comment. Let us know. If one of us sounds a little high or low, please. I'll take any constructive criticism, and we'll be back next week. Jamie, any final thoughts, man?
No. Thank you for staying up a little late with us and talking a little AEW Dynamite.
AEW. All right. Well, that's what we got. We will see you guys next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Jamie, take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down on Total Spotfest, I got 5 words for you. Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.